Hi guys, this is Mrs. Gastler, and in this video we're going to talk about net force. Net force is the sum of all the forces acting on one object. If you have more than one object, then you're going to have to find more than one net force. So when you're trying to find the net force, it's pretty easy. What you're going to be doing is one of two things. If the forces that you're looking at adding together to find the net force are in the same direction, you're going to be literally adding those forces. If they're in the same direction, you add the forces, and the net force is in the same direction as both of those forces. So our example here, we've got a piano. Let's say you and I are pushing on the piano. One of us is 150 newtons, the other one is 200 newtons. We're going to add those two together, the 150 newtons to the right and the 200 newtons to the right. We're going to add those two together, and we're going to get 350 newtons. And since we're going to the right, the net force is going to be to the right. If they're in the opposite directions, we're going to do the opposite of that, which would be to subtract the forces, and the net force is going to be in the direction of the bigger force. The bigger force wins, okay? Let's say you and I are pushing the same piano again, but this time one of us is on the other side. So we're having a tug-of-war, so to speak. So one of us is pushing 150 newtons to the right, and the other one is 200 newtons to the left. That means we're going to be subtracting those. The bigger one comes first, and we end up with 50 newtons. This time the 200 newton one is bigger, so it wins. That means our answer is going to be to the left. Okay. If there are multiple forces in different directions, then we're going to do this one step at a time. So we're going to break it down into small steps. So we've got the ones that are in the same direction. We're going to do those first. So we've got the 150 and the 60 together. We're going to add those up to get 210 newtons to the right, and then we're going to combine that with the other one that's in the opposite direction, so we're going to subtract those. 210 minus 200 gives us 10 newtons. This time the 210 is our big force, and it's to the right, so our answer is to the right. What if they're at some angle or something? We can do those in AP Physics. You don't have the math skills yet. You have to take geometry, some algebra 2, maybe some trig to be able to do those, so we don't know how to do those yet. And that's fine. We're only going to be dealing with these in the same direction or opposite directions. Okay. All right, so let's look at some examples. First, we've got Andrew and Michael. Andrew and Michael are going in opposite directions, so we're going to be subtracting what they do. Michael is pushing a little bit harder on this chair, and so he's going to win. 2 newtons will be the difference there to the left. Okay. Here we've got a couple of different forces going on. 3 different forces going on. And there's a trick going on. Do you see this right here? That 4 newtons is pointing in the other direction, even though it's on the same side as that 7. So the 4 and the 4, we're going to combine those first to get 8 newtons to the right with that 7 newtons to the left. The 7 and the 8 will be in opposite directions, so we'll subtract those to get the 1. This time the 8 newtons to the right wins, and we end up with the right being our winning direction. Last one is a word problem where we have to read what's going on. Greg, Matt, and Steven work together to hold the door shut to keep out the zombies. I don't know why zombies are coming. Greg pushes with a force of 15 newtons, Matt with 12 newtons, and Steven with 22. What is their net force on the door? I'm betting they're all pushing in the same direction. So they were going to add together all their forces. 15 plus 12 plus 22. I get 49 newtons. I didn't write a direction on here. Let me do that really fast. They're going to be, let's see, pushing. Let's go with to the door. My handwriting is a little sloppy when I don't zoom in like I do. Actually, that wasn't so bad. Okay. All right. So those are some examples there. If you need more examples, feel free to ask your teacher. There are plenty of sample practice problems in the practice for this one. Make sure you ask your teacher for help. Thanks for watching.